Barbaro. A name that, for horse racing fans, evokes a story of greatness, but also of tragedy. Although his career was dramatically and painfully interrupted, Barbaro, a promising racehorse, left a legacy that goes far beyond his victories on the track. With a rare combination of speed, grace, and nearly unbeatable energy, Barbaro captivated the hearts of millions around the world. But his journey was not only marked by triumphs, it was also a reflection of perseverance, courage, and struggle. His story is one of the most moving the racing world has ever seen, and that's what we will talk about today. In 2006, Barbaro was considered one of the greatest prospects in global thoroughbred racing. His victory at the Kentucky Derby that year solidified his position as an extraordinary horse, a true champion with a bright future ahead. However, fate had other plans for him, and the tragedy that followed left everyone who followed him in shock. Today, we will relive Barbaro's journey, from his meteoric rise on the track to the accident that devastatingly interrupted his career. But we will also talk about what happened afterward, the fight for life that inspired millions of people, the profound impact it had on the sport, and the legacy he left, even after his early death. This is the story of a horse that showed the world the true meaning of strength, resilience, and of course, courage. Barbaro was born on April 29, 2003, on a farm in Kentucky, USA. The son of racehorse champion Dynaformer, Barbaro was the product of a combination of high-quality genetics and specialized training. From an early age, he showed signs of being different from other horses of his generation. His long, elegant legs, as well as his imposing posture, already indicated that he was destined for something great. Barbaro's career started promisingly, right from his first races. With an impressive physique and uncommon speed, he quickly gained the attention of trainers, veterinarians, and of course fans. His first big test came in 2006 when he entered the Kentucky Derby, the most prestigious race in the United States and one of the biggest events in the horse racing world. But it wasn't just his physical presence that caught attention, it was also his personality. Barbaro stood out for his courage and the way he handled pressure. While other horses of his age showed nervousness or uncertainty during races, Barbaro seemed focused, as if he already knew his destiny was on a much bigger stage than anyone could imagine. May 6, 2006, was historic. In that year's Kentucky Derby, Barbaro not only won, he did so in a commanding way. From the start of the race, he demonstrated his incredible talent, leading the race with a confidence that surprised even the most experienced observers. Crossing the finish line, it was clear that Barbaro's future in racing would be bright. His victory at the Derby wasn't just a personal triumph, it was also a moment of celebration for everyone involved in his journey. The public, who was already beginning to fall in love with this extraordinary horse, saw in him the future of thoroughbred racing. The way Barbaro ran that day seemed to foreshadow that he was destined to leave his mark in the history of horse racing. After the victory, Barbaro became a sensation, with a growing fan base. His trainer, Michael Matz, and the horse's owners, Gretchen and Roy Jackson, were euphoric about the animal's potential, and expectations were high for the upcoming races. But no one could imagine that tragedy was about to change everything. On May 20, 2006, just 2 weeks after his glorious victory in the Kentucky Derby, Barbaro entered the track for the Preakness Stakes, the second leg of the Triple Crown, with the dream of securing another win and moving forward toward immortality in the racing world. But fate, once again, had something very different in store for him. During the race, Barbaro began showing signs of discomfort, but no one imagined the gravity of what was to come. In the final meters of the race, Barbaro suffered a devastating accident. He broke his right hind leg so severely that his career was instantly interrupted. The impact was so intense that the fracture exposed the bones, something extremely rare and painful. The crowd watching the event was in shock, and veterinarians rushed to the track to help him. Barbaro was immediately taken off the track and into surgery. News of the accident quickly spread around the world, and everyone wondered whether he would survive. Barbaro's accident was a devastating blow, but his recovery story would be even more surprising. He underwent a series of complex surgeries, with the best veterinarians in the country working tirelessly to try to save his life. Barbaro's fight for life became a public event, with many fans following each step of his recovery. Each day of recovery was a battle. At first, the chances of survival were minimal, but Barbaro showed impressive resistance and strength. He underwent several surgical procedures, including the installation of a prosthesis to support his fractured leg. The veterinary team did the impossible to keep him comfortable, but complications were constant. What was most impressive, however, was the way Barbaro reacted to all of this. Despite the extreme pain and physical limitations, he continued to fight. His recovery became a symbol of perseverance and resilience, not just for the world of racing, but for everyone following his story. Barbaro's recovery after the accident became a global example of resilience. The horse spent months hospitalized, but with each passing day, he showed signs that he wasn't ready to give up. Even with all the medical challenges and complications, the world followed his journey, and with each new medical update, fans felt more connected to him. Barbaro's effort to overcome pain seemed to reflect the willpower of millions of people around the world who were cheering for him. Barbaro's treatment became a joint effort among the best veterinarians, including the renowned Dr. Dean Richardson, director of the Equine Surgery Clinic at the University of Pennsylvania. In his fight to save the horse, Dr. Richardson and his team took extraordinary measures, including performing complex orthopedic surgeries to stabilize the animal's leg and prevent infection. The recovery wasn't easy. Barbaro had to be kept in a specific position to prevent his fractured leg from moving, which could cause further damage. He was also constantly monitored to ensure that his health didn't deteriorate due to physical and emotional stress. He had to undergo a series of treatments to ease the pain, including powerful antibiotics and analgesics, and he was also fed through a nasogastric tube during critical moments. Even in moments of great difficulty, the horse never showed signs of giving up. His recovery seemed more like a battle against the odds, a true fight for survival. It was during these moments of extreme difficulty that many began to recognize Barbaro's character. His physical and mental strength were extraordinary, and each day he became a symbol of resistance. The support from his team of veterinarians and caregivers was invaluable. They developed a close relationship with Barbaro, getting to know him not only as a patient but also as a friend. And this emotional bond with the care team had a profound impact, making Barbaro's struggle even more symbolic. The veterinarians, many of whom had dealt with numerous injuries in racehorses, admitted that they had never seen a horse fight with so much determination and courage. Although Barbaro's fight for life was inspiring, unfortunately, his recovery story had a tragic outcome. After several months of treatment and ups and downs, Barbaro finally succumbed to complications from his injuries. On January 29, 2007, less than 9 months after the accident, Barbaro passed away due to complications caused by an infection in his leg. His death left the world in shock, but Barbaro's legacy did not fade with his passing. On the contrary, he became an icon of perseverance and courage, not only in the world of horse racing but also for everyone who faces adversity in life. The impact of his fight was deep and lasting. Barbaro's case brought important issues to light about the safety and well-being of racehorses. The accident and subsequent fight for Barbaro's life helped spark a debate about medical care and how horses are treated during and after their careers. The racing world began rethinking practices, seeking ways to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Furthermore, Barbaro sparked an awareness movement about the health of racehorses, with many fans and animal rights advocates calling for more responsibility in the treatment of these animals. After his death, the Barbaro Memorial Fund was created to promote veterinary research and improve the care of horses. The fund raised millions of dollars, and Barbaro's legacy continued to influence medical practices in the sport for many years. Although the horse never won the Triple Crown, his memory was marked by his courage and the way he fought for life. Barbaro not only inspired the racing world, but also touched the hearts of people around the world. He became more than just a racehorse. He became a symbol of overcoming adversity. Barbaro, although his career was tragically interrupted, became more than just a race champion. His story is a lesson in courage, resilience, and determination, and his legacy is a reminder that even in the most difficult adversities, hope and the fight can make a difference. His victory in the Kentucky Derby will be remembered as one of the most emotional moments in the history of horse racing, but his true greatness lies in the way he dealt with pain and suffering after the accident. His fight for life, and the unconditional love of his caregivers and fans, turned Barbaro into a hero beyond the track. Even after his premature death, Barbaro continues to be remembered and celebrated. The impact of his story extends far beyond the racing world. Barbaro's journey remains an inspiration for everyone who believes in the power of perseverance, and his name will live on in the hearts of those who witnessed his extraordinary life.